Thank you. Quick roll call. Ms. Arp,
Here.
Ms. Atchison is excused. Ms. Cronkite,
Here.
Gates,
Here.
Ms. Ensley,
Here.
D. Gates, I believe, is also excused. Mr. Heiler,
Here.
Mr. Cantrell,
Here.
Mr. Ringler is present. Public comments. So citizens wishing to speak on agenda or non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the meeting citizens are allowed to address the DDA. Please state your name and address for the record if you'd like.
City Councilor Rose Powell. I live in Cedar Springs. I'm here to talk about the events since the chamber is no longer with us. The Historical Society has taken over the celebration of lights at the Heritage Park. There's other events that I'm kind of worried about, the Spooktacular, the Christmas parade, tree lighting, the Santa Claus thing. Drop the ball. I did talk to Jason Merlington this morning. He said he'd be glad to drop the ball, but we need, of course, chairpersons for all of those events. So hopefully we can get that done, get together, and DDA can help with that. The big expense is, of course, closing the streets and insurance. Those events have to have liability insurance. So hopefully we can come up with something, get a few volunteers. It's only just a few events for the winter. So I give you some updates on council. The council has done a marvelous job with the help of our city planner and Darla to renew our zoning, especially downtown, which was something I was worried about all along, and now homes downtown will be able to get insurance and mortgages, things like that. And when I had my business, I don't know about the rest of you, but the neighborhood homes and families were very important to our business. So I'm glad to see that happen, making it easier. The other thing is we're voting on is the red flannel medallion that hung in the city hall for, I think it was about 10 years. I don't know if you remember what it looked like anyway. So we are voting on whether to display it here in the new city hall. And we're voting on it. So keep a close eye on that. Hopefully we'll get it back in our new city hall because we cherish our heritage and we embrace the future. And I think this speaks to that. So, and also the red flannel poster that was made by our artist and donated to the city. So we're working on that. And I guess that's all I can say, but thank you all for stepping up and volunteering your time to the Cedar Springs DDA.
Anyone else that wishes to speak? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll close public comments. Move on to any conflicts of interest and ex parte communication. Thing to report. Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Everyone should have that in front of them or in their packet. Any additions or comments on the agenda? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve. Support. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. The consent agenda would include a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of May 18th. That is contained in your packet, as well as accepting and filing the financial reports also contained within your packet.
Motion.
Thank you. Wonderful. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Consent agenda is also approved. Unfinished business. We have a bylaw amendment that begins on page 8 in your packet. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to read through those. Ms. Johnson, did you have any commentary?
I would just add that these bylaw revisions are minor in nature and that there have been no changes since you've last reviewed them.
Any other comments, questions?
Just to note, there's a small typo under bonds, the bond section. There's a bit of a stutter there. Might want to relook at that.
Okay.
Page?
Do you have a page number by chance on that?
I don't, in front of me, it's under bonds.
Okay. Section or article number by chance?
Look in here. Quick.
It's just not jumping out at us at the moment.
Let's take a second here. Small document. Page 6 of 7.
13 in the packet.
Sorry.
Right, we're going to discuss.
Where'd you see that?
Oh, okay.
Difference.
Page 13 in the packet, perhaps?
Did you have a specific spot in there, Sonia?
Getting there.
The authority. Shoots negotiable.
Bonds, yes. Bonds issued by the authority shall not, comma, except as provided in the act. Just as provided is in there twice.
Okay, I've made note of that change. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? You want to, we're looking for approval today?
If you guys are comfortable with making the recommendation for approval to the city council with that noted change,
With
that would be an
with that
appropriate.
one correction, then I would entertain a motion to approve the amendment to our bylaws. You, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Revision is approved. New business. We are looking at holiday lights. Page 15 in your packet.
So I just wanted to give the board an update on the holiday lighting because that's something that has historically been taken care of by the Chamber of Commerce. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the background of the information, everything you'll need to kind of understand where we're at today. So currently we have a Main Street lighting that we light down on the trees, both sides on the trees. We have a pine tree that we also light, and then we have a permanent installation at the Veterans Park as well. And we have permanent installations on the light post on Main Street. So I met with the gentleman that does this for us annually, discuss costs, what that would look like. His recommendations are listed in my report as well, but we need to replace some of those lights because they've been damaged. So that'll be an additional cost in this fiscal year, or sorry, it'll be in the next fiscal year. And then, of course, our base labor fees as well. So I wanted to provide you guys with that information. And then he had recommended one other change for the downtown lighting. That included the trees on Main Street. So some of those trees have gotten quite large, and the way they wrap them, they're suggesting that we wrap the trunks and then the individual branches. You can kind of see on that page there. This is how we've kind of historically done it. It's kind of been wide looping. Unfortunately, plow trucks snag those lines and then they break and so forth. So their recommendation is to do a more focused lighting on the tree trunk itself and then like the branches moving up. So I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Have we seen more damage when they're lower like that, just from people walking by?
Yeah, unfortunately. they get damaged for a number of reasons. I mean, squirrels, plow trucks, people. But I think mirrors. hmm Yeah. So I think it'll be a better option for us. We'll lose probably less lights each year. It'll just be a little bit different look. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. So that way, when you see it, you kind of know about it in advance rather than wondering why that change was made. And then I just went on to discuss additional information on warranty and operational limits and so forth, just so that way you guys can all be aware. Um, Typical lifespan is 5 to 6 years with proper care. Some of those lights are beyond that at this point, but they've been well taken care of. So they've lasted a little bit longer than the typical lifespan, but we would anticipate to see replacements each year to replace those that are aging out. So I mean, really, in conclusion, I just wanted to give you guys the information. I want to bring back some additional information for you guys, giving like specific information on replacements over the years, what we're anticipating. But for right now, we'll leave it at, we've got enough money in the bank to cover it for this year, including any service calls that we need. But I would like you guys to continue to think about if you want to expand on it or what your thoughts are, because we'll want to plan for those types of changes in the future. So any specific questions I can answer?
So the maintenance one we see is ongoing, and the capital, if you will, would most likely be one time with a little bit ongoing to replace.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a cost difference between the way that they string them?
Not that he identified. No. As the trees grow, we could see the need for additional lights, but not at this current time. I think he had recommended 25 strands this year, and that would take care of whatever the need is for this upcoming season.
Looking for approval now.
If you'd like to make an approval, you certainly can. So Laura, I just want to clarify, that was for the 2026 labor costs and light replacements. Okay.
Support. Discussion or questions? As this is financial in nature, we will do a roll call vote. Ms. Arp,
Yes.
Ms. Conkright,
Yes.
Ms. Gates, Ms. Ensley, Mr. Hyler,
Yes.
Mr. Cantrell. Yes. Mr. Engler also votes yes. Holiday lights are approved. All right. Thank you. Community events. This is on page 20 in your packet.
So in your packet, you have a list that we kind of maintain of all of the community events that have happened previously. So you'll see in there a number of those events are highlighted. Those highlighted events are events that have been held. However, we haven't identified someone who would like to organize the event. So as Ms. Powell had mentioned, the Celebration of Lights has been taken over by the Cedar Springs Museum. You'll see that on line 5. I've identified that they have taken over that event. Additionally, you'll see on line item 4, the Halloween Spooktacular, City of Cedar Springs. That's something that we can handle relatively easily administratively. So that's something that we've opted to take on. But then there are a number of other items, including the Renaissance Fair, the sidewalk sales, the Cedar Springs Christmas events, the New Year's Eve ball drop, and then the carriage rides as well. Those were kind of the events left that had been historically done by the chamber, but we don't have an identified organizer for that. So the question is if the DDA would like to see these events continue, how do we make that happen? We would likely need to have some subcommittees formed, volunteer members of the board to make sure those events go on. We'd like some of your guys' feedback on that today.
I would be happy to actually be a part of the subcommittee to not just take a look at these events, but future events as well within the city.
It may be worth reaching out to some of to the previous organizers and trying to get a little understanding of what's required. That may be a subcommittee task, perhaps. What went into it. I know Mr. Hopkins had indicated to me anyway that the Renaissance Fair wasn't going to happen this year anyway, but I don't know if that was because of the chamber or just because of his bandwidth. You might know better. What's it? Chamber, okay.
Yeah. So I can tell you the New Year's Eve ball drop brings in a lot of commerce to our town. I think it would be smart for us to continue doing that, although I'm going to be a snowbird officially this year, so I will not be here and I cannot help with that. So it's a lot of work, though. I will tell you, you start at about 10 a.m. and you are off your feet at about 6 a.m. So, but it's worth it. It's a great thing for our town. The carriage ride's also very well received. I don't know if it brings a lot of commerce to our town, but I know that the community really enjoys that. And I know Perry would love to do the Renaissance Fair again. I do know that.
I think it's worthwhile to study these events and their impact. You indicated that the ball drop brings a great deal of commerce to the town. I stayed open until 11:30 and I saw 4 people. 2 bought something. So I think measuring the impact of some of these events and who they're benefiting and the costs that go into them is actually fair to do at this point. I think especially because we do have a turnover between the DDA now and what was with the Chamber of Commerce. So I think understanding a lot of this, it's a good thing. So.
That's crazy.
We've been pretty steady for the ball drop. Has been a little bit weather dependent. Like the first year it was very warm, so we definitely had way more business that year. And each year it's gradually gotten a little bit colder and a little bit slower due to that. But I think that's really the only thing that's impacted it is the weather of how many people show up.
I think one thing that would help the other end of town is if the social district was extended, but I know it's hard. The chambers or the Legion's never gotten involved with it and as an anchor to extend, but that would help a little bit on that particular event. I think to spread out the traffic because it does tend to concentrate up on the north end of town.
Point, it's crazy trying to make sure all the fire pits were full and that everything was, I mean, that truly there's about 5 of us that do it. And it's a lot for 5 people. There might have been more than that, but it seems like it's always the same 5 that show up. But I think if we got more volunteers and maybe did other things in different parts of this, of Main Street, it might, maybe your end of town would be busier.
I mean, I recognize I'll probably be the only one open on my end of town. So, and hopefully that changes. I think that's something that I would really look forward to and see that coming up in the future. I think it's one of the reasons why I want to be on one of these committees is to start taking a look at other options and other ideas. I know I have a ton of them. I don't know if any of them are good, but it's, but I think that's where, especially just revisiting some of these things that could benefit the whole road and draw in more new businesses, get more improvement on some of the existing ones. Be more of a draw, I think, for all businesses to be willing to stay open later if they know that people are going to.
I think that's true of any of these events, whether it's the Renaissance Fair, or the bike race, or the carriage rides that maybe haven't been able to capture as much of that in traffic. I mean, some of it comes from getting the folks on Main Street to get involved too, which solves the volunteer side of it, but that may.
Donate right? A lot of the stuff that happened was donated. The fire pits, all of that stuff that's donated, right? Like I have 3 behind my building that I bought, that I donate, that's used every year. All of the big fire pits, those are donated. All the wood is donated. Like there's a lot that he did that he made sure it didn't cost the town any money. So, I mean, y'all are still welcome to use my stuff, and I'm sure that they'll they'll let use the rest of the stuff, but somebody's gonna have to coordinate getting the wood brought in and making sure the fires are full and making sure everybody's safe around them. And there's a lot that goes into it. I'm glad I'll be in Florida under a palm tree.
Do we like the idea of trying to put together a subcommittee to look into some of this stuff then? We have someone willing to take the lead. Anyone else that wants to participate? Crickets. I'm running out of bandwidth. I mean, I can put a staff member with you to help, but it wouldn't.
I think that would be good. And I mean, obviously I got to talk to somebody to learn all the ropes and what to look at and how to act properly as a DDA member and conducting all this. So.
I think that's been the ongoing struggle. I think even with the events at the chamber had held them, it was a struggle of having the staff and the volunteers and the people to run the events and the time to commit to it. And then, of course, like you said, finding the donations and those types of things, those all take a lot of time.
But
And this might be my ignorance to the whole process and how it takes place, but perhaps maybe starting to take a look away from a volunteer type of system around these events to maybe more of ones that have a budget that can have a few paid people actually taking care of them. Because I feel like a lot of the events right now live or die on if somebody can give up their night or their weekend to do something. And that might be one of the, and once again, I could be completely out in left field on this stuff. Perhaps one of the things to revisit, to take a look at is that actually, is there a way that we could make these events pay for themselves or something? And once again, could be 100% wrong.
I'm sure Perry would love to still do them and get paid for them.
Well, what's the will of the council here? Do we want to try to form a committee, or do we want to just table this discussion for now? We don't really have the information, I don't think, to.
Yeah, kind of need to know what it takes to what we got to put into each event to make it happen. And we need to know more of those details. Maybe get some information from people like Perry that have done that before would be very helpful.
Yeah, I think it's going to take some time to look at some different reorganization methods, because maybe we could also look at different resources for people regarding volunteers, other than just who's here or who was on the chamber, different groups, different other groups that are out there that maybe could commit to one event. And if you can line that up, then maybe,
Or even just people in the community that might be interested in volunteering.
Guys, we tried all of this,
Yeah.
every inch of it. 6 months, we begged people, we're gonna close the chamber if nobody helps.
like the women's club could be one, the Lions Club. There's different groups out there that may specifically want to capture one event instead of a plethora of events. And then perhaps looking at different resources that way for different churches, different organizations that have the boots to the ground, help that we need to do that. In order to assess that, you need to investigate what it takes for each event and go from there.
I know, and this is just me thinking this, what I did a handful of years ago. My brother and I, very, very quick story. Brother and I donated our time to serving food at the Renaissance Festival on the other side of the state, to help raise money for his daughter's cheerleading group. And so a percentage of the sales that came in from the booth, obviously, instead of it going to pay the workers at that point, just went as a direct contribution over towards the cheerleading group at that point. And that's one of the ideas I can have at that point is that if there are groups out there that need to raise funds for their specific nonprofit or charity, allowing them to tie into the festival at that point, or the group or the event. I don't know if this has been thought of or tried in the past. Once again, I'm just trying to spitball ideas. But I think that actually trying to maybe, instead of people just, give up your time with a purpose. And perhaps that might be able to bring in some people as far as the compensation angle of it. I have no understanding on that yet, but I'm just trying to think outside the box as far as, how can we bring in more people? But give them a purpose to come in and do this. Give them a purpose to go up the next weekends for it.
Well, as mentioned, Christian, would you be willing to kind of step up and lead this as a subcommittee chair and see if you can't recruit
100%.
somebody else? Okay. So I would entertain a motion to appoint Christian as a head of a subcommittee to look into this. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Is there support? If there's no further discussion, then all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign. Mr. Subcommittee Chair, well done.
Can I
We're
make just a
looking-
quick comment?
Yes.
If you guys don't mind, if I can make a quick ask, if you guys can think of organizations like specific churches or specific organizations that you have in mind that might be willing to assist in that, that might give Mr. Cantrell a really good jumping point to start, because as Laura knows, a one-man show will not be able to bring these events to fruition. So I
just
think.
feel like we're doing him a disservice. That's. I know what goes into it, so don't take me not motion, which I would normally do as it depends on you. It's just, it's so much.
The thing I want to look into at this point is actually the feasibility of some of these things that are taking place and the costs. I think that's the first thing that's out there. And then I think especially after that, understanding how things can be delegated at that point. And once again, if we are giving somebody, yeah, you're right. I can't do it all myself. I got a business to run. I got small kids. I like to sleep at night. So the other responsibilities I have, but for me, I think the benefit to this is that if we can get actually solid concrete events taking place and going place in town, ultimately that will come back to benefit my business and other businesses and the town as a whole. We're all on the same ship. So as long as that tide water is rising, I think we'll all benefit from it. So no, as far as I'm thinking right now, especially with, I love the bike race. Absolutely love it. All those bikes went risen by my place last year. I was like, this is so cool. Why aren't there more people here? And I was thinking we need some feet up behind this. We need a little more attention to this. I was let down by the ball drop last year. I was told that was going to be my second most successful day of the year. And here I am twiddling my thumbs and sweeping at 11 o'clock at night. So I think it's stuff like that where I'm like, okay, that's really my whole purpose of wanting to be here is I want to analyze these things, take a look at these things and see what, shot of adrenaline we can give in the arm to someone.
Let's gather some information. I can get you in touch with Marty, who runs the race, and I will say he's dealing with some health and personal issues, but he'd be a good person to start with for that. And I think Perry's a great person to start with for the New Year's Eve. So
yeah,
maybe to focus on gathering information on a couple of those, and then we'll move on from there.
I'm like,
All right, DDA meeting in July, we need to reschedule, correct? Is on the
Correct.
page 21.
I will not be able to attend on the 20th.
Well, there's a couple of proposed dates in there. If everyone can check their calendar, the 6th, 13th, or 20th.
not available the 6th. So
Oh, I was gonna say the 6th or
it's like a
13th.
week from now. I feel like that would be pointless.
So, well, let's just go this way. Is everybody available on the 20th or the majority of us? Okay, we entertain a motion to move the date to the 20th. July 20th. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Same sign. We have a new date of July 20th,
Same time.
same time, same place.
Okay. Thank you.
Good efficiency. All right. Correspondence, our 2026 calendar. Okay, we just kind of looked at that. Do we know of any other conflicts right now?
Not at this time.
All right. Music in the Heart. We obviously have had weather the first couple of weeks, so 17th and 24th has been postponed. Hopefully, regardless of the heat, tomorrow it goes, Wednesday goes in good shape. I believe they're talking to that's the old one, Agent 87. I think they're moving to the 19th. I think Taylor and DeMar chose not to reschedule, is my understanding. So that will move forward. We also have our movies at the Kent with numerous showtimes. I know the Kent Theater has been posting their schedule as well on their social media. The Blitz coming up on the 11th. Is there a flyer in here for that? Not really.
I didn't see an updated flyer for this year.
Okay, I think there's one out there on social media, but
Okay.
it is on the 11th. I know Rogue Racing is still running that. And as I said, Marty's now moved, so he's not in town anymore that he was. And I know they're dealing with some health issues, but my understanding is they do have the Cedar Springs Music Boosters again as their partner for fundraising. So they make a donation to the Music Boosters every year. Okay, we have a copy of the chamber donation agreement that is on page 24 of your packet. And then we have the updated welcome packet. Any comments or overview?
No, just that we've added some information about our mass notification system. So if you're not signed up for our mass notification system, it'll allow you to sign up for reminders on events, public notices, emergency notifications, burn bans. There's a number of different things you can sign up for to stay informed. So it included that. And then, of course, our move to this building, we had a few places to update some information in there. So I wanted to provide that to you guys in its most updated version that is available on our website. And I believe the board has expressed having some business cards with a QR code for that information. So that's something that I'll continue to work on as well.
Going to ask, how is the distribution? Is there printed copies of this at all available or?
Not yet. So this is fresh off the presses. So they are not printed copies available quite yet, but we'll get some going.
If you could, along with that, could you get like maybe a poster that could explain what's going on there along with that QR code?
Sure.
And that would that typically, once it's printed, be available here then, just here? Okay.
Yep, or on our website. It's on our website.
Looks really
as well.
nice. Nice job on this.
Thank you.
I know it's been talked about for a long time, and I know even reading through that, it's like, oh, yeah. Any other questions or comments on the welcome packet? Otherwise, we are moving on to city manager comments.
Quite heavily working on zoning stuff lately with ordinances that need to get introduced to planning commission, public hearings, and then they move on to city council. So just kind of keep tracking of all. We've changed a lot of our ordinances lately. The last two were approved by city council at the last meeting, so they should take effect July 1. Ms. Powell mentioned the one about the zoning, rezoning of some parcels downtown. New one that's going to be introduced to city council in July is a truck route ordinance. We currently don't have one on the books, and I think we need to, so I'm going to introduce it to city council and get their feeling on it. And that's an ordinance that's regulatory, so that doesn't go to planning commission, although I'm keeping them in the loop on, they need to be aware of that as well. So following a lot of the updated master plan, these are all things that we need to do to implement all the things that were brought up in the master plan. So heavily into zoning stuff, and just looking forward to enjoying summer and some concerts and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
DDA Director's Report.
Just a few additional updates. So the demolition revitalization grant is nearing completion. We have a subcommittee meeting immediately following this meeting today. My hope is that that will be on the July DDA agenda, so you guys can make some approvals on that. So coming very quickly. So we'll hopefully get that on the agenda on the 20th at noon. We did have our hanging baskets delivered to Main Street. So I don't know if you've noticed them, but they're looking really nice. And then I just wanted to welcome back Teresa Lance. She has returned to assist with the summer concert series. She helps take care of the bands, make sure they get paid, help them in setting up and tearing down. So I'm happy to see her back. And then thank you to Mr. Cantrell for your volunteering to help with the events. So thank you for that.
Thank you. We'll move on then to trustee comments. We can start to the right.
Subcommittee team for all the hard work, and Rebecca for all the footwork that you put into that. Curating the language, I know that was no easy task. I wanted to thank Darla and the city council for bringing Cedar Springs back into being an investor-friendly community once again. I appreciate the effort in that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you guys for your time and commitment to the city, and thank you for volunteering your time. Yeah. You're so
Thank you guys for everything, and thank you for volunteering. If you need some guidance, call me. Happy to help. That's it.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate everything everybody does, and especially stepping up and volunteering.
I agree. Thank you for doing that.
Why do I feel like I'm the guy who just volunteered for like the first guy in space and like, thanks for testing that rocket.
I wish I had more time to help you, but like on the side, I can help with the task here and there or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah, thanks for everyone being here.
As well, thank you, everyone, and thank you all for the votes of encouragement. And yeah, hopefully we can make this a great year.
So, I mean, please reach out. I mean, connect with us and others in the community. I think you mentioned a phrase earlier that I'd like to use often, is that rising tides lift all boats. And I think it is true that a little bit, and if you can help get the ball rolling on some of this stuff, that, you know, good things can happen. And I think trying to engage some of these other groups is an excellent idea. So hopefully that can bear some fruit. And we'll throw a reminder out for the Cedar Blitz that is upcoming on the 11th. And if you haven't, reach out to Marty. I mean, he really does look to connect. I don't have his contact here, but I can certainly provide it for you. But the more connections and the more folks we can get involved. I know if there's other communities that this has been kind of modeled after that have really turned this into a showcase event for their towns, Hastings being one. And it is a great way. 80-90% of the folks that are coming into town for that event, it's part of the Michigan Gravel Series, are not from this community. So it's a chance for us to all show off what we do and attract new faces and earn some repeat visits from some of those folks. And then also a reminder to everybody, get out and enjoy the summer concert series if you can. That's also a really cool thing that we do in town, and it's even cooler when it's the park is full. So, and thank you. With that, I do not need a motion to adjourn, so I hereby declare this meeting adjourned. As we can start the second meeting.